Some say it's a take two. That's no problem because it's the Tank and G show. Yeah, you know what it is. We talk about sports and today about fatherhood. Let's go. What's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy G.
It's your boy Tanka. And we got a special guest, a big brother to me, a mentor, a San Mateo native, or some people might say a San Mateo legend, next to Brady.
Next to Brady.
It's your boy Nate.
Yeah, bro, I should just leave after that intro. I don't even know what to do. I just drop the mic. Let's go.
And that was today's episode.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Right on, bro. Thank you for taking time out of your, I know you're a very, very busy ass person, taking time out of your busy ass day. So we appreciate that.
Today was bath night, guys. So you guys, I was definitely busy tonight.
But what's up, Nate? You know, it's been a while. What you been up to? How's life? You know, how's everything?
Shit, man, doing good, working hard, grinding, I think all of us are putting our heads down and trying to put in work, trying to get to the next level. And Donkey can speak for me when I say that I'm just that type of person that's just always looking for the next level. So, other than that, taking care of my family, taking care of myself, and most importantly, staying healthy. But good to see you guys healthy as well.
Right on. We appreciate that, bro.
So, like, how long have you been a father now? Congrats on being a father, and, must be crazy.
Yeah, man. It's been already a year. My boy just turned a year old in December, so I'm excited we hit that landmark. And, my wife and I, we congratulated ourselves because we kept another human being alive for a whole year. So, that's a milestone. But yeah, man, it's been great. It's been great to just be a part of something greater than myself.
What was little homie's name?
His name is Oliver James.
Oliver James LeBron?
Yeah, I try to fit that one in with Desi. She wasn't really feeling that, but
I call him OJ.
OJ? Damn.
You know what? I knew you guys would bring that shit up. I told Desi too. I was like, look, just pay attention to his initials. Anybody that was born in the 90s is gonna catch it right away. So just know that.
No, but shout out Oliver James.
Oliver James.
Hope in the future when you watch this, you're like, damn, my dad was on a podcast talking about me.
Yeah, right. Currently, he's going to bed right now. So mom's putting him to bed.
Damn. Well, anyways, bro, before we jump into more fatherhood talk, what you think about the Super Bowl?
I'm telling you, bro, the Niners should have been in it, won, and had that been the Niners, would have tapped that ass. I just feel like it's one of those things that it exposed the Chiefs for who they really are. I don't think they're as good as we thought they were. I give them kudos for beating us in that last Super Bowl, but if we all remember, the only thing that kept them in that game was that deep ball to Tyreek Hill, and that was it. And if he doesn't complete that pass on 3rd and 15, we win that Super Bowl. So I give the Bucs props because they held Patrick Mahomes down. But man, it was an ass whooping. Like it wasn't even a game. Like I just was surprised. But shout out to Tom Brady, San Mateo native, San Mateo legend.
I heard there's a new name for Tom Brady. Y'all hear that?
Which one?
Ariana Grande.
Why?
7 rings.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what I heard from the street. Streets online. But
she belongs to the streets.
And she belongs to the streets. But I saw Brady today, dude. I would have been gone like him. I don't think I've ever seen Brady that faded, and he looked like he had a great time.
Bro, they carried him out. Literally. I was like, holy shit, bro. He was coming out the club. Oh, shit.
No, but yeah, I mean, Super Bowl, like he was mentioning, I mean, I'll still give props to Mahomes. You know, that fool, he tried his best, you know, to carry that team, but it's crazy that they didn't score a touchdown. Like Mahomes, the Chiefs, they only got 3 field goals. You know, I would have never like said like, yeah, you know, the Chiefs aren't going to score a touchdown on this Super Bowl game. Never. So, you know, you got to shout out to Brady, but also shout out to that Bugs D. You know,
They got down.
They laid the hammer. They laid down. You know, Devin White. Some say he should have been the Super Bowl MVP. But obviously, you got to go with the quarterback.
Yeah.
I know. Just another reason to remember defense wins championships, FYI.
Facts. For sure. We always ask everybody that when we talk about like football, we ask them this question: what do we do in our quarterback situation with the Niners? Do we keep Jimmy or do we try to go somebody else?
Honestly, man, I think I like to think a level higher. As long as Kyle Shanahan is our coach, I don't care who sits behind center. Doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. He's going to make anybody good. I think what hurt us last year was that we needed to throw the ball more often than we needed to because our defense was decimated. And if I had to pick, I would go with my boy Jimmy G. Just remember, homie took us to the Super Bowl not even a year ago, and when he's played, he has played well. And we have won games. So I love all the options out there, but I feel like we're throwing him to the wayside too soon. And I don't know if we're going to regret that. So we'll see. But I think, like I said, our offense is too good to not, and our coach is too good to care too much about who is behind center.
But let me paint this beautiful picture for you. You see the red and gold. You see the 4, Deshaun Watson, with Kyle Shanahan, with those weapons.
Yeah, without Nick Bosa.
I mean, I would say 4 first-round picks. Maybe throw in. Would you guys give up Debo?
Fuck, I don't know, dude.
Like I said, quarterback is the most important position in any sport.
Look, you give up anybody except for Kittle and Bosa. Yeah. Outside of that, I don't think it really matters at that point.
What about? I mean, I wouldn't give up Warner though.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
But yeah, anybody else? Armstead, Jimmy Ward, 3 first-round picks. Take them.
Yeah. Mullins, take them.
I'll drive them to Texas. Take them.
For real though, man. But we'll see. I'm just excited for this next football season. I think the Niners, they stay healthy and we're back at it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited too, and hopefully, you know, we can actually go to the games this year.
Yeah,
you know, it would be pretty. I miss it. You know, last year I went to like 5 in the playoff game.
Yeah, I went to all playoff games except the Super Bowl.
But hopefully, you know, things get better. But I mean, that's a little selfish of us, thinking that far ahead. You know, just let's keep remaining safe. And you know, if all we can do is watch from home, I enjoyed it. It was cool.
So are you planning on getting vaccinated or not?
I don't even get the flu shot, you know.
Damn.
So, and I never get sick, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, better question. Ask him, when's the last time you've been to the hospital or seen the doctor?
For like something?
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, your
I mean, when I fractured my ankle, that's the last time. That was like 3 years ago.
And he was debating that too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought, you know, I was like, well, my mom has Vic, she has La Virgen, caldo de res. I'm like, I should be good.
That should be good.
That should be good. And like a Sprite. That's it.
That's it.
Nah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of things about it. I mean, I guess I would have to. I'm still not sure.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I think once it's like I don't know if it's like 100% like fucking like good yet. So once it's like 100% confirmed, like there's no like side effects or you can't fucking die from it or whatever, then yeah. So for now, I'm gonna just keep it cool.
How about you, Nate? I mean, his perspective is a little different now because he has a kid.
Yeah.
He has to worry about. What would you say?
Oh yeah, man. Well, it's easy. It's an easy decision for me. It's a yes. And on top of that, Desi is a nurse, so she has to get it.
Oh, okay.
Did she already get it or no?
She got the first dose last month. She actually gets the second dose tomorrow.
I heard like the shot like hella hurts. Is that true or no?
Nah, I mean I forget which one she got. I don't know if it was Pfizer or Moderna. I gotta ask her, but she said the first one was easy. She was a little sore, like her arm was a little sore after. But that was about it. But she was talking to me because a bunch of her coworkers went in to go get the second one on Monday, and they, like a shit ton of them called out off of work on Tuesday. So, maybe the second shot has a little bit more of an effect on people. I'm not sure, but she's getting it tomorrow, and we'll see what happens then. But with any vaccine, there's going to be, like it's a flu shot, you might feel something, you might get a little, and again, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so I don't know what to prescribe or what the hell to recommend, but I think it's more of at least if we're giving it to all of our first responders, shit, we should take it ourselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if all of our doctors are taking that shit, if it was killing people or it was doing something, then we'd be screwed because we'd be left with no doctors or nurses or firefighters or policemen. So I'd hope that vaccine's not killing people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't heard anything recently, but like that went viral, right? Where that nurse like got it and then she like passed out, and then but that's just one out of like I don't know how many people, so everyone's different. But yeah, I've heard like a lot of people that have taken it the second time, like they just feel like shit.
Damn.
Like they just feel sick, and they got to take like a couple of days off. But then I think like you just feel better after.
Right. But,
well, we'll see.
Is it available to the public yet? Or not?
How does that work? Like you have to like, can a normal person just get it, or do you have to like I don't know.
At least in California, they're doing like tiers in certain groups of people. So it's like, essential workers and people of a certain age are getting it first, which makes sense. Yeah. We want to protect the older folks, and we want to protect the people that are going out and having to be at work every single day in front of a bunch of people. And then eventually it will get down to like normal people like us, where we're just, kind of sitting at home waiting for this shit to get to us. But it sounds like we'll be able to get this year, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
I hope I get, technically I'm essential, I work at the bank.
Yeah.
So I might be next and whatever tiers. So I'll let you guys know what's up if I get it.
Yeah.
If I get it.
Yeah, you guys need to run another podcast on just the vaccine once you get it.
1 second. Just hopefully I feel good to do it, but
yeah.
But well, here I gotta let's start it. Nay, I feel I got like a few things I'm interested. I feel like this is a good topic, especially for me and Jaime. We have no kids. We have no idea what being a dad is. The closest is, like I said, I have a dog, but obviously it's still rough. It's a full-time commitment too, but obviously another life, especially, it's crazy. So Nate, like, walk us through, like, when you found out, shit, I'm about to be a dad.
Where do babies come from?
Well, let me. Oh man, well shoot. When I first found out, it was crazy. We weren't even really trying, but we were also not hiding it. You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't purposely doing it, but we weren't accidentally doing it. So it's kind of you know, if it happens, it happens, and we're not too worried about it, right?
Right.
But it was a little bit. I forget. I can't remember the exact date, but I came home from work and Desi was sitting on the couch, and she was just absolutely. She just looked like she saw a ghost. She had her feet crossed. She was kind of like anxiously, you know, rocking back and forth, and I just stared. I was like, "What the heck's wrong?" And she didn't say a damn word. She just like pointed to the bathroom. And I, you know, me thinking the funniest, Desi's scared of spiders and shit. So maybe there was something in the bathroom that she was scared of. She just wanted me to check out. And when I flipped the lights to turn on the bathroom lights, I saw a pregnancy test sitting on the counter, and I didn't even know what it read, but I knew what it meant. So I just started going juice, and I picked it up, and I was like, "What does this mean? What does this mean?" You know, because like I think she got me the one where you don't know what it is. You gotta like read. It's like a cross means pregnancy, and then that line doesn't, or some shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. There's ones these days that'll tell you like they're more expensive. They'll tell you pregnant or not pregnant because it makes that shit easy for you. But yeah, man, I was just thrilled. I was excited. She was kind of, I think she was waiting for my reaction, you know, but I was so excited for just everything that was to come. I was already thinking about, you know, what was it? What gender was it going to be? What are we going to call it? But yeah, man, it was a great feeling. And, you know, it's one of those feelings that you just never forget. So,
bro, what was like the most like difficult thing you had to like deal with throughout? Like, well, I mean, obviously, like Desi, like she had to deal with all like the hormones and everything. But like you being her partner, like what was like the most challenging thing for you?
I think it was. I mean, throughout the pregnancy, I think the hardest thing for her, or for me, to try to convince her was that I was going to be there no matter what. You know, I feel like it's a very vulnerable moment for a lot of girls that they get in that mode where they're like, something's growing in me. I know something's growing in me, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, you know? And, you know, let's just be honest. And I live in that world. There's a lot of deadbeat dads out there that end up not being there for their kids, and it's easy for them, right? Because they don't feel it. They don't have somebody coming out of their out of their body. You know what I'm saying? They don't feed it. They don't nurture it, and the same way a mother does. So when you know the mom gets to a certain point where they get in their pregnancy, all they really want to know is like, are you going to be there? Are you going to be around? Are you there? And are you going to be able to support me in the way that I want you to support me? So it was it's a game that's more emotional than anything else, but definitely one of the things that I experienced when she was pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, would have sucked, you know, would have saw you a Maury, and you know he reads like, you are the father, type of thing, right? No, I mean, yeah, well, like,
yeah, bro, that's like a dad's worst nightmare. It's just like, you just comes out and you're just like, what? Who is Gary?
No, but yeah, I mean,
whose baby is this?
It ain't mine, what? The fuck? Me? You sure? No, but yeah, I mean, what you were saying, I mean, so that's 100% true. And like, what kind of things like did you do to support her? Like, you were just there, anything she needed, or like walk us through like what were some things that you know you helped her through during the, I guess, 9 months, right?
Yeah, man. It was well, I mean, in general, it was just helping her out with little things here and there, you know, like getting stuff prepared for the nursery, you know, picking out stuff for the kid, planning out what our plan was going to be when the kid, you know, was born, or when she was getting ready to deliver. it was the smaller things, you know, like just in an anticipation of when the kid was going to come into the world. No, and I think you have to think short term, because if you try to think too long term, you're going to overwhelm yourself with like, what school is he going to go to, and what things do I want him to learn, and what vegetables do I want to eat. It's just like, don't. That's probably just like another conversation for another day. But yeah, man, it's just small stuff. So, you know, as a dad, I think, and you know, it's kind of fun for a dad. You know, mom takes care of the kind of buying of things and cute outfits and um, you know, all the fun stuff for the nursery, and then dad's putting it all together. So it's like, you know, when we moved into our new place, you know, I put up everything that's in his room right now, you know, painted the walls and did exactly the way my wife wanted it. You know, put together his crib, put together beds, put together furniture, brought in furniture, um, you know, organized it to the way she wanted it. And really, I think the thing I wanted to give to her was, you know, she had a picture in her mind about what she wanted, and I wanted to give it to her. And I think that was probably the biggest thing that meant, like, what meant to her the most is to let that picture be alive, so that when the baby came into this world, you know, he or she was gonna, you know, see exactly what mom wanted to see for them. So.
Yeah, I mean,
That's fucking crazy, bro.
that's crazy. I mean, I didn't think about that. Yeah. Like I said, I have no idea.
To me, it's just, honestly, like, before I was just like, all right, mom does basically everything. You just help clean him up when he needs cleaning. He needs the bottle, cool. If not, all right, I'm good. I'm going to go watch some football or soccer. Just play.
Then out of nowhere, the chancla.
Liverpool's on, bro. Liverpool's on. I gotta go.
Yeah, what you mean?
He's a Liverpool fan.
No wonder. No, but I mean, so like when this whole process, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you know, us as guys, I feel, or for me, for example, you know, if I found out I had a kid, you know, obviously we want the boy, right? But Nate, did you have a preference, or you were like, whatever,
as long as it's healthy, or what?
As long as it's healthy, or deep down you're like, you know, I hope I get a little boy, or I hope I get a little girl.
I don't know, man. That whole decision runs it. You know, when you don't have a kid and you're not about to have a kid, you know, you talk your shit and you're just like, I want a girl or I want a boy, and this is the reason why, right? Like, everybody has their kind of preference. Mm-hmm. But in the moment when you finally see that thing growing, and when you go to the first sonogram and you see his little heartbeat, you just like you're just praying and hoping that doesn't matter what it is, just come out into this world healthy and in my arms. That's all that matters. But you know, I had my bets. You know, we you know, I had some family bets, and people were saying I deserve a girl, and other people were like, you're gonna have a boy. And I don't know, when in my mind, when I was thinking about like just siblings and having kids, because I do plan on having more kids. Conclusion that I'm giving a foreshadowing to. But you know, I always thought like a boy would be cool first, because then he'd be able to take care of, you know, any girls that came after that, you know, because you know, I had sisters, and I loved I love my sisters very much, and one of the things I did, you know, was like protecting them, you know, when, especially against boys, you know, growing up, it was always like boys wanted to date my sisters, get to know my sisters. And I would always check them and just make sure that they knew what they were getting themselves into, you know? And I just feel like I wanted that, especially because I do want daughters, but having a boy first was definitely more of a future thinking than like, oh, I want a boy over a girl.
That's what's up. Fucking Ollie's fucking year. What have you learned about him over the whole year?
That he's an asshole, man. You know, and it's funny. It's not their fault. You know, kids are kids, and I think people don't realize it until they have kids. You know, they don't have the type of sympathy that we have for other people. You know, they don't have the ability to understand emotion, and when someone's feeling sad or when someone's pissed off, they just do. And so, for him right now, it's just crazy because he's picking and choosing the food he wants to eat, wants to stay naked, never wants to get dressed, wants to be outside naked, never wants to put on shoes, and he's making, and that's just, that's who he is. But yeah, man, he's jokes aside, he's just got so much of Desi and I, and I think that's just, we expected that, but he loves basketball, that's for sure. And I think he gets that from his mom. But outside of that, he's just growing up to be a sweet kid, and but he can be a dick sometimes, that's for sure.
So walk us through before we jump into these other questions. So the day comes, right? You how did you find out that, oh shit, today's the day that he's gonna be born? Was it unexpected? Was it already planned? How do parents decide, oh, I want my child to be born on this day, right? Because I know some people do that.
Oh, right.
Did you do something like that? Or was it just oh, fuck, let's roll?
Man, it was sort of planned, but that shit's crazy, man. I give it shout out to all OBs out there that are delivering babies and predicting that shit, because half of them know what the hell they're talking about. So make sure you get a good one too. That's another thing.
Before you start, sorry, my bad to interrupt you. What's an OB?
So I'm not really sure what the acronym is, but it's just it's a doctor who's going to help you deliver the baby at the end of the day. Okay. You guys can Google that shit, because again, I'm not a doctor, but I've seen him plenty of times and I paid him, so I know him well.
So it's OB, right? Just OMB?
Just OB.
Okay.
OB.
But they're the ones telling you at the beginning of the pregnancy, when they first come in, they tell you, all right, so your baby's this size right now. We think that it's going to be delivered around this, give or take. And they give or take, a couple weeks. For us, though, what was happening, and this is something where it's a little scary for a lot of parents, is your kid, there's a lot of variables that play into you having your kid. One is how big your kid is. Mm-hmm. Two, scientifically how big your wife's vagina is. Mm-hmm. And whether or not the doctor believes your wife can push out the kid. Mm. If your wife has every anticipation or every belief that she's going to go a C-section, mm-hmm. and she's not going to even try to push the kid out, then, the decision made, you can pick and choose whenever you want, as long as the baby's fully baked. But if you're trying to have this kid, naturally, that's where you have to trust your doctor, and the doctor has to tell you exactly when he thinks you should be ready to go, right? For us, Ollie was a big ass kid, and he's like, look, this kid's already pretty big and he's going to only get bigger. So my suggestion to you would be that we induce you, which inducing just means that they give you some stuff, they give you a shot to get you going, mm-hmm. and get your I forget the scientific term, but just to get them going to actually start delivering the baby. Mm-hmm. And then from there they could probably determine within a couple of hours when you're actually going to have the kid. So for us, it was our doctor was look, we're going to have, as we approach your delivery date, we're going to meet more frequently. We're going to continue to check you. We're going to continue how dilated you are. We're going to continue to check how big your kid is. And at a certain point, we may just call it and say, tomorrow you're showing up to the hospital and you're having this baby. And that was it was a little surprising, right? We kind of knew it was going to happen because our doctor was already on top of it, but it was just we came home from a doctor's appointment. We went to the doctor's appointment. He's like, look, you guys are going to go into the hospital tomorrow. You guys are going to get induced. And you guys are going to walk away this weekend with a baby. I was like, oh shit.
No money back guarantee.
Exactly. But yeah, man, it was crazy. It was crazy even just knowing that the baby was coming, because then you're scrambling and like, I need this and I'm going to bring this. I'm going to bring all the bags and I got to get this and just trying to get everything ready for home. Cause it's like, it's happening. So it's just a crazy moment for you.
And when the baby was finally born, do you remember exactly how you felt when you like saw him and like held him for the first time?
Oh, there's pictures of me. I'm crying.
Yeah.
And not tears of sadness, just to be clear, but tears of absolute joy, man. And here's the thing. I'm going to say this probably multiple times while we chat, but it is so different, the experiences for the father and the mother throughout the entire pregnancy. Moms have their own experience, and I will take nothing away from them. They are warriors in what they do throughout the entire process. So shout out to every mom. But fathers, we experience something completely different. And for me, the hardest part watching, Desi and Ollie and watching, Desi during the pregnancy is just like, at any point, there could be a complication. At any point. And at any point, I can either lose him or I can lose her or I can lose both. Fuck. And that shit was the hardest thing for me, was knowing that entire time throughout, not only from the time he was ready to the time she actually pushed him out, like there could be a complication. And it's very slim, but it's just everybody plays the statistic game until it happens to you, right? And that's what that crying was about, that sigh of relief when I got to watch my kid come out, cry for the first time, breathe, and then my wife to be breathing and living at the same time, and for us to just share that moment. I think that was just a sigh of relief for me, because I as a dad, that's your worst nightmare. So it definitely was just weight off my shoulders, and just glad that it was all over, and that I could walk away with, my wife and my son.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's very interesting. That is all, because I feel like we've all seen like the pictures, videos of the dad and mom crying together, but it's all like, it's a 9-month ride of like uncertainty, and I guess when you see the baby alive, everything's good. You're like, you can breathe and you can be like, wow, it's amazing. Like we did it together as a team.
Yeah, man. And you can know, like, I don't know. The other day, Desi follows like, what's John Legend's wife's name? Is it Chrissy Teigen? Is that her name?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right.
I forget.
Yeah. I think that's her name. Yeah. She had. I was just learning about her pregnancy, and she had to push out her dead son. Fuck. Like, that is where that's why I'm saying like it can happen to anybody. And even then, like sometimes mothers, like their kids die in them and they still have to push them out. So, that those are kind of stories that you read about when you're reading your books and doing your research about pregnancy as a dad. And that's your worst nightmare. So, like I said, bless the moms, bless the kids, and bless the doctors who do what they do to bring us all to life and bring us to this world. So damn, that's crazy. So did you do some research like before all this? Like, did you like books online? Like, what type of research did you do? Or like, also I had like another, like, did you ask people like maybe like your dad or your family or anybody else that already had a kid, like some tips, or like who did you seek guidance from?
I was pretty humble about it. Mm-hmm. So I asked everyone, especially dads, their experience, and I try to gauge it. And I also read a lot of books. Like I was reading books like a madman, just trying to figure out like, all right, what do I do? How do I prep? How do I get ready? How do I understand what my partner is going through? And it was good. I mean, it was good for what it was. But I'm telling you, man, nothing could prepare you. No book. And our parents always say this shit to us. I remember when I was young, my parents always used to say, it's like, there isn't a manual to be a parent. And I used to be like, well, there's books. And I was like, now I realize, yeah, the books ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they help you to a certain point.
Right.
And then, then it's all just, you just kind of wing it, it's just you feel out your kid, you feel out the vibe, you feel out like, what happens to your marriage and to your relationship. It changes, and it's all happens in a blink of an eye. So you try to read as many books and you try to get as many opinions and advice from people, but it's all unique to your kid and it's all unique to your relationship with your partner.
Fuck, man, that's just like hella information to
man,
digest.
I'm writing tips. This is fatherhood 101 right now. But for me, it's still like, who knows? I say another 10 years, but shit, I might get a call tomorrow like, yo, you are the father. When?
Yeah, man, it was that one girl from Pura.
Cut that. Nah, but another thing I wanted to ask too is like, like probably those 9 months when you were like just thinking like worst case, best case, but like, what would you say is like, what's one thing that surprised you that was actually like pretty easy that you're like, oh damn, it's not that bad? And then what's also one thing that you're like, oh fuck, like this is real, like it's hard?
Yeah, again, I'm gonna shout out my lovely wife and say that like what was surprisingly easy was just how quick the kid came out. You know what I'm saying? From the time the doctor said they induced her to the time that we were ready to have him, I think it was all within like maybe 6 hours. And even then, when she actually started getting contractions and started feeling it, I mean, again, when the doctor said, okay, we're going to start pushing, I think we took no more than an hour. I think it was like 30 minutes that she just like pushed him out and he was in the world. I was watching the Niner game actually while he was getting pushed out, which is crazy.
Which one?
But it was the Niners versus the Rams. And it was a game. I think we won
Saturday night, right? That one?
Oh,
yeah, I think so.
It was a night game here.
It was a night game. We Jimmy G threw it to Sanders over Jalen Ramsey. Shout out Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, so but it happened so quickly, and I was just surprised because like I had heard people have different stories and how long. Like I was hearing people, people were in labor for days or 24 hours, and I was just, man, I was ready for war. I mean, so was Desi. We had ice chips and water and Gatorade and shit. We had the whole 9 yards. We were ready to just like duke it out, like a Gatorade commercial, and just be ready. But it just happened so quickly. We're like, oh shit, all right, we're here.
Cool.
But yeah, that was the one thing that surprised me. And then I guess the one thing that surprised me that was pretty challenging, I think it was just like, again, like watching Desi's body change and trying to like help her in like some of the pain and aches and things that she was going through, and because like literally like your body is shifting just I think Desi broke her rib carrying him because like he kicked her so hard that yeah, he fucked her up. And like, and that was scary because like, again, you're just like, oh my, you're at that point your wife is just so delicate, and you're just trying to make sure she stays safe. But yeah, that was a challenge for me, just trying to be like, okay, where do you want me to rub your feet? You want me to rub your back? Sometimes she'd be like, don't rub me at all. I want you out of my face. Like, and just trying to be around when she wanted me to be around and be away when she didn't want me to be around. It was just like, I think that was, people talked about it, but it's a real thing. And I just feel like husbands can't take that shit personally. They have to really understand that like your partner's body is going through a massive overhaul, and it's trying to support two hearts, two living beings, and that shit's no joke. So that was the one thing that I kind of tripped out just trying to understand like just everything Desi was going through.
Oh yeah, I had, you kind of answered another question I had, but yeah, I think that's, you hit it on the spot. I feel like you gotta, like you said, not take it personal and just be aware that, I mean, we're not carrying anything. We're, like, it's also stressful, on the dad side, but it's not compared to what the mom's going through, and what you said. That's something I don't think about too. Two hearts, like that's crazy that you gotta take care of yourself in order to take care of, someone that's gonna, a person. But yeah, I mean, I guess, is that something you would like any new coming fathers, just don't take shit personally and just, kind of like just be there, but also be aware that you might not be wanted there too?
Yeah, man. I think, I mean, if I had to just be advice for fathers that are in anticipation of having their kid, like watching their wife go through the 9 months of being pregnant, like treat your wife like a damn queen, or a partner like a queen. Like, she will remember that, first of all, when it's all said and done. But like that's I think that's the biggest part, is like it's the small things, and you rubbing her feet or rubbing her back, or getting her tea, or whatever it is, or getting her Jack in the Box at midnight because she's feeling the munchies. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is, do it.
And I know it's like I didn't believe it, but I've heard like a lot of people talk about that. Like I forget the word for it, but like after like pregnancy, like a lot of not a lot, but I guess some women go through like depression and all that.
Postpartum depression.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Did Desi go through that or no?
Yeah, man, it was hard. It was. I don't think she went through a full postpartum depression, but it's it is definitely a real thing, and it's hard to put your finger on it, right? With any type of depression, right? Like when someone's feeling depressed, even themselves, like they don't even really know if they're depressed or not. It's just like a really shitty feeling. And I think for Desi, the hardest part for her was, again, like getting to a certain point and realizing like, how the hell am I going to be taking care? How am I going to take care of this baby? And it lasts for a couple weeks, right? Like, Desi was scared when she left the hospital, because like the first couple of days when the baby's born, you're getting help from the nurses, and the nurses are kind of giving you advice, and they're like, hey, like, this is how you feed your kid. This is what you do when your kid does this. And then they're like, okay, you got to go home. And you're like, shit, can I get a nurse like to come home with me? And that's the point where it's like, as a father, I mean, like you kind of just like make sure your baby gets on the boob when he's hungry, or the bottle if that's the route you're going. But everything else is kind of up to the mom. And so when you're sleep deprived and you're in the thick of it and your baby's crying and you're going through it, like, yeah, you get depressed, and you ask yourself, like, did I make a mistake? I'm going through it, and can I do this? You really doubt yourself. And again, that's the point at which I think, as a father, and this is why, again, it's so important for a father to be part of this, is to really step up as the man of the household, and to let your wife know, like, whatever goes down, we're going to get through it, and I'm going to make sure of it. And so it's just one of those things where in any part of a pregnancy, there's going to be moments for the mom, where she's going to step in and she's going to, take ownership and she's going to take the wheel. And then there's going to be other parts where the dad's got to step in, and you're not going to know. It's not going to be obvious. Sometimes it is, but other times it's not. But when you're going to feel it, and that's when you really got to step up your game and be there for your family.
Oh yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, family's the most important thing. And, the man, we're supposed to hold it down and, but that's good. I mean, that it sounds like, you held it down and, it's crazy. This has really opened my eyes, things that I haven't thought about, honestly. Like, I just think the kid comes, we cool, couple diapers, by a couple years we were playing soccer and we all good.
Yep.
But this, like I said, this is crazy. And like I said, I feel like this is good, get like for me, like I feel like I'm a couple years away, but it does put things a little bit in perspective and a little glimpse into what holds for the future.
Yeah. Now for me, I look how I mean, honestly, I kind of like try to like not like copy the route that Nate's taken, but I feel like in my eyes, he's done it the right way. He went to school, graduated, got a job, got his own spot, and then got married, and then he had a kid. Like, that's what I want to do. So like having all this info is just like, fuck, like when that happens, and if it doesn't go the way that I plan it, then fuck it, but having this advice, it definitely helps out.
But yeah, I think like how Nate was saying, like it may also happen unexpectedly, but just remember, I guess, to just, just like be ready and just be aware and, don't put yourself down. Like if it happens, you just got to man up and do it.
Definitely.
Because like it could happen.
Yeah,
it could happen. And,
it could.
And you can't just be like, I'm not ready, take it back. It's your kid.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, how Nate, I feel like you were saying, you mentioned his route was, the typical route that I guess you would say that, we're built to try to be.
Yeah.
But what else I got? Oh, perfect. Like, what are some of your fears that you have every day for being a dad?
Shit, that's a great question, man. That's it. I feel like it changes every day depending on what my kid's going through. I just, I think it goes back to like how I was raised, right? Like, short history lesson, I didn't win the parent lottery. Mm-hmm. And specifically a dad. And so I always fear that I'm going to fall in his footsteps and that somehow my son is going to view me the same way that I viewed my dad.
Okay.
And that is probably my biggest fear. But I think in general, like, I think my biggest fear for my kid is just like letting him into the world and letting him actually see the world for what it is. Like right now, kids and even kids up to a certain age, they believe the world is just like a beautiful place, which they should. Like I think their parents try to teach them like, the beauty in the world and what a great place it could be. But then you get to a certain age where you got to start teaching your kids like this is the ugly of the world. Like it's not all rainbows and butterflies and, sunshine, right?
Yeah.
And so, my fear is when my kid gets to that point, how is he going to react to that? How is he going to, take in the darkness and really feed into, someone shitty, or is he going to really think about it and say like, I want nothing to do with this and I want to be everything good in this world, And I hope that as a father, for me, I've raised my kids right to know right from wrong. And even when right and wrong seems like it sometimes the decision is a little gray, like they make the decision that they follow their heart and they make the decision with their best judgment. So I think that's the two things I really think about the most is, just making sure my kids are ready for all that.
And I mean, since we're already on the topic of fear, when COVID hit, like how, like, were you like around having people around you and your kid? Were you like not like, don't be around? You were just like, just be my family, nobody else?
I don't know, man. I have a different view on COVID, and I don't want to speak for anyone, nor do I want to be insensitive to what people have gone through, because again, people have gone through a lot. But for me, I think I was always very intrigued on knowing the statistics behind what was going on. I wanted to understand who was getting it, how they were getting it, what was the age group, what was the survival rate. And I think we found that out pretty fast. It was like it was hitting older people, it was affecting them a lot more. They were dying more and more, like at a higher rate, versus someone like us who are young, healthy, hopefully, with no pre-existing conditions. And even my kid, who's the healthiest he could possibly be, I felt pretty comfortable. I mean, I was taking every precaution and, doing everything that the CDC and the government was telling us to do, right? Social distance, wash your hands, wear a mask, if your kid touched something. But, the other thing I try to preach is that, like, I don't want my kid to, get the common cold in a couple of years and die from that shit. Like, I got to get my kid exposed to shit, and us using hand sanitizer and sanitizing things 100% and not exposing them to germs like we did when we grew up as kids, and getting chorro, from, like, I don't know, touching something at school. Like, we all grew up and had to deal with it, and it just made us stronger. And that's what part of having an immune system means. And so, like, yeah, I was scared, but I also was like, can my kid have, like, little COVID? It's just like, just so he can be immune to that shit. Like, just
COVID-19 Junior.
Yeah. Just not the bad one, but not the bad one. But, it's just like I said, like, I was scared, but I was also, I was respectful of what the government was telling us to do. Stay at home. Don't expand your group. Don't try to do crazy shit. Don't go out. And so I did that to be responsible, not for me, because I have a different perspective, but for the people that I care about, people that could be impacted by this, right? It was my friends' fathers and mothers and grandmothers and other people that were potentially could be at harm.
Yeah, I feel like I took the same approach, like I said, I mean, I still have to go out and work. So, but, I try to minimize the going out. But I mean, sometimes I would go out. Yeah. But recently, like, I'm just at home and I work. I got my little gym set up here, so I don't even got to go to the gym too.
Fucking, but yeah, so I don't know, like, what kind of advice, like, what are your, like, biggest, like, I guess you could say, like, top 5, like, do's and don'ts, being a father, like a new father?
Damn. I don't know if I could give a top 5 do's and don'ts, but I think that I can only speak again from, like, being a father, right? And I can only speak about, like, what I've learned in a year, right? But I think one thing that I have greatly appreciated, and what one of the pieces of advice that somebody gave to me was, you're always going to love your children, but that doesn't necessarily mean you got to like them. And you got to let them know that very early. You know what I'm saying? And it's as simple as being like, look, I don't like your attitude right now. I love you to death and you mean the world to me, and that's never going to change. But if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. Like, I'm not going to condone it. I'm not going to let you know that I love you or I like you because you're an asshole. So, that's one thing I take to heart, and definitely a do for a lot of parents to try to instill in their family. Yeah, the other thing too, I'd have to say is like, don't underestimate the power of like what it means to be a father in a household. Like I think a lot of times, and again, no discredit to mothers. Mothers are the absolute greatest. I love all my baby mamas. I only have one, but the rest of them out there. And um, but as a father, I think sometimes we could take it for granted, and we can underappreciate even ourselves. When we see that we're not the ones feeding the baby, and the baby's not coming to us because the baby loves mom more. Everyone's giving mom the credit and mom this, and they're putting her on a pedestal, and dad just kind of in the back burner and only really is kind of the grunt worker. Like you're not, this isn't about shine. This isn't about pride. This isn't about, your personal, goal, like who you are. Like this is about your family now. And you have to realize that you got to be unselfish in this moment. Like it's selfish for you to think that you deserve anything in this. Like you're a parent, like you're relinquishing everything that you've ever had to give to your kid. And so I think it's hard for me to kind of look at parents now and to think about a dad or a mom that could just walk away from their kids, and just to think like what are they thinking? Like what gets a parent to that point? And I know that's a whole other topic of conversation, but what don't for me is really like don't make it about you, because it's not. So I don't have five, but shit, I got two.
Those are two solid
Those are
ones.
two.
Because I mean, the first one, to be honest, you see a lot of parents nowadays not like really educating their kids really well. You see kids being hella disrespectful, talking back to their parents, and blah blah blah. And I think that stems from since they were like babies and like them growing up. And then second, we were saying about not making it about you and all that. Like I really like how you. I mean, I've from what I've seen that you guys like really switch off. Like, if Desi wants to go do something, you stay home, you take care of the baby. If you want to go do something, she does the same. So I like how I really like that that teamwork that you guys have, and I think that's good for the baby too. That they could see that they have two strong parents.
And I like the thing he brought up, right? Because it is about the family, and sometimes depending, if, let's say you're about your ego, right? And like he was mentioning, because the mom's gonna get all the credit. That's given, but it's just you to just be like, this isn't about me. This is about my family, and so what if I'm not getting the credit? I'm doing this because it's my son, it's my wife, it's my daughter. That's why I do it, and I'm not looking for validation. So.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I didn't think about too, because some people might feel that way, They might be like, they might want to I guess get all the credit and love from the kid too, because I'm pretty sure there's some parents that are very egotistical in that way, which make them clash in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Just to wrap it, I got one more. Like I said, I got a list.
Yeah, no, I've seen that shit.
I got I guess. What is something that you're looking forward to in the future? Right now you're a year in, but let's say in the future, what's going to games or watching him play sports, or what's something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, man. I think it's all the above. I mean, I think it's small things, here and there, like watching him play sports and I don't know, score a goal and shit. I think that's always great, but I think what I'm most looking forward to is passing away watching my kids. I think that one of the hardest things for a parent is to think about every day. One of the things that you think about is I want my kid to be here every single day for the rest of my days. And I just look forward to my kids having kids and them having kids and them outliving me, because, you know, this goes back to a little bit of a fear, but it is a fear of mine that, you know, something would ever happen. But I really look forward to like passing the baton to my kids, giving them everything that I possibly could have given them, and then passing away with all of them surrounding me, and all of them there. So I look forward to that, man. Because you know what? The truth is, and I'm real with my shit, I'm not here forever. None of us are. So we got to start being thankful and gracious, and count our blessings, and look forward to that. You know, make that ending graceful for all of us.
Yeah.
For sure, that shit was deep. I think
deep.
that's
I didn't expect that one, but I mean, that's pretty deep. And yeah, I mean, that's the whole idea, right? Of like the man passing on his last name.
Yeah,
it's kind of what he's talking about, you know. But instead of the last name being like morals, you know, what our parents have taught us, because I feel like we all carry a little bit of
how we were
raised, and you know, obviously our parents got that from their parents, who got that from their parents, so that's carrying that tradition, that last name, that
the legacy,
the legacy. So I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but shit, that's pretty deep. That's pretty cool too.
Fucking deep, bro. But yeah, bro, we've been at it for an hour, and I know you gotta work, and you gotta probably wake up early tomorrow.
You know, grandpa time.
Yeah,
I still gotta go play video games.
I gotta go brush my teeth and figure out my day for tomorrow. Get my kids' lunch ready.
Yeah, you see, two different responsibilities.
No, but I mean, it was great, you know, talking to you again, Nate. Like I said, it's been a while, but you know, I feel like you've always been wiser. And we know when we were younger, you know, our freshman year, you know, I know Jaime, he went under your wing, but you know, it was great, you know, learning from you, getting your advice back then, and now with this fatherhood, it's great. And I hope, you know, the best for you and your family, and hopefully, you know, next time we can have you live and we can have like a Sonoma special and just talk about back in the days. Incorporated.
Oh man. Well, guys, you know, I'm thankful for you guys to bring me on. I'm happy to chat anytime, and yeah, you know, whatever knowledge I could drop, I definitely want to share. And it's again, I just hope that if it's not you guys or anybody that's listening, that they just take, you know, what I say with a grain of salt, because again, everything's different. It's all going to change the minute your kid comes in this world, or the minute that you find out you're going to have a kid. So again, just count your blessings, man. We're blessed to be here, blessed to be alive, blessed to be working for those of us who are, and again, blessed to have our families in our lives. So
for sure. Once again, man, thank you so much, and have a good night. We're gonna call it right here.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
Take care.
Yep.
Take care.
Those